Okay, this is going to be a quick guide on how to install OBS in order to locally record your webcam as well as broadcast to Zoom. This guide is not going to work out for you if you want to do anything else with OBS, really. I'm just going to try to get the most efficient setup for recording and virtual camera. We'll start off by hitting the download button after searching for OBS in your browser. Hit the platform that you're on. We're on Windows right now, and download the installer. You can just double click on that or open it in your downloads folder. That's up to you. I'm going to hit it there because it's faster. Just hit next, next, next. And we'll just let it auto open. Hit finish. All right, once we're here, since for these purposes, we're only going to be recording, not going to be doing any streaming. If you want to stream, you can look into those settings. But for now, we're just going to go optimize for recording, hit next, and we'll leave the current resolution. That's fine. But since we're using a webcam and it's just going to be webcam, I'm going to hit 30 FPS instead. It'll just be fine like that. Less bandwidth needed. Hit apply, hit apply. All right. So as we can see, it is registering my mic right here. If your mic is not registering, that means that you have another active audio input that your operating system is recognizing over your active one. In order to change that, just hit this cogwheel, properties, and then you can choose your existing inputs here. I can just force it to be my proper microphone there so it won't change. Your desktop audio, you're not going to need in this situation, but basically on at least Windows, it will automatically take in whatever computer audio is coming in. For now, we're just going to mute it. All right, now we're going to move over to the scenes view. As you can see, there is a scene already there for you. You can't delete it. There always has to be at least one scene. You don't have to rename it, but I'm going to rename it to webcam, just so that's easier to distinguish if I might add more scenes later for other uses. Within every scene, there will be sources. So we only need one source today. We'll just grab our video capture device, which is simply just camera. If you have something more advanced, like a Blackmagic ATEM Mini, you could use a Blackmagic device instead. But in the case that you have that, this video is not really relevant anyways, but you'll just select this. I will name it webcam, cam. Names can't be the same even if there's the difference between source and scene, so webcam, cam. We'll open this up and it'll just by default select whatever video device is on the top of the stack. In this case, it would be the OBS virtual camera for some reason. I will select my webcam utility because I don't have a real webcam on this computer. So I just use my Canon 77D. You don't really want to play with any of this stuff here. If the color looks weird, you could try out some color space or range settings. You usually just want to leave it on default and see what it does. In the case like here where your feed is not filling up the entire screen, I would honestly just scale it up. It looks okay. It's not actually in 1080p, but I can't change that for some reason. So it's fine enough. I've checked in the profile settings and it won't allow you to configure video, and changing the resolution will just end you up with a black screen. It might work for you. It doesn't work for me. So I find if it doesn't fill out the frame, just drag across. It'll be good enough. It's fine. So here's where we are now. Just to be safe, I'm gonna mute that one too so that we just have our mic. All right, that is basically the OBS side done. From here, you can just hit record and it will start recording. And it will take that input and it will take this video and it will record. All right, now for the second half, we want to set up our virtual webcam. It's pretty simple, honestly. What you want to do is let's start up Zoom and I will show you how to translate this. How webcams and video feeds work is you can really only have them in one program. It is a major limitation of the technology. It's kind of annoying, to be honest. But what I'm just going to do is you could also do this in your meeting, but outside the meeting, I'll hit my settings. I'll go to video. Please. Can we go to video? All right. As you can see, I have the same webcam utility that I have an OBS and it's just showing a black screen. It's not going to give me anything. So what I want to actually do is hit this OBS virtual camera, the thing that showed up in my sources. I'll hit that and you'll see it looks the same. It's just the OBS symbol and no camera. But if I start virtual camera, now it's broadcasting what OBS has in here. Now here's another way to see that. If I just turn that off, it will show exactly what's on my OBS feed. This could also be used as a screen share function if you wanted. You could have, for instance, your webcam in the corner, and then let's say I get a display capture. I just move this over, display capture, and drop it down there. And now we are seeing infinite existence as my zoom camera. Looks pretty decent. And then of course for your audio, you'll just set this manually in here. You can have a mic going to multiple places. For some reason you can't do with cameras yet, but you can do that with mics. You have been for a long time. So set whatever your best mic is in here, set your OBS virtual camera in here, and then for your recording, once again, set your best mic right here. I'd probably not touch any of this stuff. Don't put a glossy effect on your face or anything. Don't do anything weird. But this is just for viewing, and this is for recording. You can have the virtual camera and a recording going at the same time, and now you are broadcasting to Zoom while recording. Pretty simple. If you want to be extra fancy with your audio settings and just try to get the best recording you can, I would probably hit the cogwheel, hit filters, hit the plus, and then go limiter. What a limiter does is it prevents the signal from going over a certain range, so we can prevent the signal from clipping if you get too loud. I wouldn't have it at -6 in this case because that's more of a delivery level, and I just want the least amount of distortion level. So what I would probably do is bring this just shy of 0. For some reason, typing in this can be very finicky, so I wouldn't play with it. And I would probably just set this somewhere around 100. That'd be good enough. If the output recording doesn't look that good, you could start messing around with the settings a bit. So let's stop that recording. You want to go to File, Settings. From here, you could obviously just change a couple things. I like this skin better, so I'm going to select that and see a bit better. From here, you can check out your video. So here, if you want to change your canvas or output resolutions, you can do that right here. You can change your FPS. If for some reason you want to start streaming video games, you would probably want to set it to 60. You can see your audio stuff here if you want to have more mic inputs, and there's also these settings in here. I would probably just not touch this unless something's really wrong, in which case you could look into the color space and all that, but I would leave it the way it is, the way that the wizard set it up for you. If you want it to record to another place on your computer, this would be the place to go. You want to go to the Output tab, and then you can choose your recording path by hitting Browse. You can also choose the quality of your recording. I would probably set to high quality, medium file size. The rest of these, especially with the quality of a webcam anyways, you wouldn't really notice a quality difference, but you would definitely notice a file size difference. Doesn't super matter which recording format you use. By default, it goes with MKV. You could go with an MP4. I would not recommend MOV because not all things can edit MOVs. They're a bit of a pain in the ass. You could also record into different codec. Doesn't really matter. Whatever the wizard set you up with is probably what's best for your computer. If your computer does not support NVENC, you'll probably put it on whatever's next best. So I would probably leave all of this. This procedure also works on Mac in practically the exact same way. Even though the page in the latest updates says that it's not supported, they have released the update to support Virtual Camera for Mac. So just download it, open it, and go through the setup wizard the exact same way. It might take a little longer because Macs be Macs, but you just hit apply. You go and do your scenes the exact same way. You could name it or not the exact same way. Go get your video capture device the exact same way. Name it the exact same way, and select your webcam. In this case, with built-in webcams, they tend to always be 720p, so You'll never get any higher than that. It's fine. Just scale it up to 1080 by dragging the exact same way and it'll be fine. The reason it looks green is because there's just tape over my camera. I don't use my Mac's camera. If you want, you can put on a limiter. I think it's quite helpful and it's quite simple as well. Same procedure, close to 0 dB and then a release close to 100 milliseconds. Then from there, the same way, you just click virtual camera, click start recording. For some reason, the virtual camera will ask you for an admin password. I'm guessing because this will have to modify the program in order to send out data. But that's it. If it was helpful, then cool. And then I guess like and subscribe and all that stuff. If it wasn't, I don't know. So yeah.
Computer.